Yeah, yeah. We are back with another live stream. This definitely won't be as long as the last one. I just felt called to talk about the difference between the spirit and the soul. There is a huge difference between the spirit and the soul. And there's a lot of ways that we can go about this, but the whole point is to show you how your spirit has to create a soul so that it can connect with itself before it connects with other spaces. So we're really going to dissect real quick all the details in which your spirit, as the observer of your space, is able to create a vibration that allows it to feel like it is connected to a structure. Because that's basically all life is, right? You are observing a body that you feel connected to, but sometimes you don't feel connected to it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't feel like you are your body. You feel me? Like, of course. But the whole point is that you want to feel like you are your body, which is why you're able to move it. But this is where we get the balance of life, right? We get like all basic spirituality and people who act like they're on some shit trying to be like, you're more than your body. Like, yeah, no shit, of course. Like I made this body so that I could interact in this atmosphere. No big deal. Chill. Like it's but people are so lost in the body. So this is, of course, because of our whack-ass education system. This is, of course, because of our, in general, whack-ass government system of the world, where people don't know how their soul works or why their hearts are beating. Like, just to let you know, your heart is beating because your soul is vibrating this body into existence. If your spirit wasn't creating a soul to actually vibrate these particles in your body, you wouldn't exist. It's that simple. You look like the other Black Panther. That's hilarious. It's that simple. All right. So literally, if you did not beat your heart, you would not exist. This is why you have to have a heartbeat to breathe life into this physical form. It's that simple. Okay. So I'm letting you know that's your soul. All right. We can look at Spider-Man, No Way Home, when Doctor Strange knocked Peter's soul out of his body. He's like, whoa, I'm out of my body. And he's blue. That's literally your soul. Your soul is the water and your body's the earth. This is why all earth comes out of water. Science has that all messed up, of course. So it's all about knowing that structures are built by connections. If your structure isn't connected, it won't exist. You see that? So your water, your soul is your connection, and your body is a structure that makes your connection real. But of course, your connection to yourself is really your heartbeat. Like if we're gonna get actually deep in it, your connection with yourself is literally your heartbeat. So if you don't have a heartbeat, you can't even connect with other people. Right? Like if you don't have a heartbeat, how are you going to go party? How are you going to go hang out? How are you going to go have sex? How are you going to go have a fun ass time? Right? It's not possible. You got to have a heartbeat. So that heartbeat is representation of you connecting your soul with other souls. That's why you and I, as separate spirits, we had to create souls that could vibrate these bodies into existence. So now we have spirit, soul, body. That's space, water, earth. In between water and earth, we have space, fire, water, air, earth. And now we can see the avatar, right? When you know that show, Avatar, is so spiritual. Like I could go so hard on that show, but that's for another time, all right? But the point is, all these things are relatable because this is what we're standing on. You feel me? It's just this English language is so twisted. This English language is so messed up in not teaching us the elements, not teaching us spirituality, not teaching us how to actually build a life at all. It's just like a slavery language. It's meant to actually like confine your soul. That's why they call it spelling, right? Then you can look up the history of language. We're like, oh, witchcraft, English. Like, yeah, of course, Vatican, all of that. But the Bible, law, religion. Like the whole point was to steal land from Native Americans. Like the whole point of making English was to make sure that Native Americans couldn't speak their original indigenous language. It's that simple. So then once you know that, you can see the intentions of English and everything connected to English. Not very spiritual. Right? Not in the benefit of your soul. No one really cares about your heartbeat or your fucking dreams. You know, like no one here cares about your individuality, but they should. People should care about you more. You feel me? That's why I'm up here. Hilarious. I just took LSD. See you, Space Cowboy, bro. I'm glad you're here for that. Absolutely. Have a good time. Fly away. Astral realm, for sure. Slapping cheesy tater tots. Yep. Bro, what? Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You must be worse. Law. Absolutely. Yes, a lot of Jesus died for you. A lot of that. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's madness. I mean, I'm making it as relatable as possible for you. So anyone saying that what I just said is madness, how can you literally watch a Spider-Man movie where it's making however many billions of dollars and they literally show that the soul is real and that you have to exist as a watery figure before you exist as an earthly figure? Like, and that you have past lives. Like, people are just up here ego talking. Like, y'all are just ego talking. Like, it's really hard. I really do like looking at the comments, but then it's just like, so many people are so ignorant where they just want to say, something's wrong when I'm literally talking about the shit that's been making the most money in the world for like over 200 years. Like, I'm literally telling you about how people build religions, how people build movies, how people build governments, how people build nature, and what these words even mean and why we give them any meaning at all. And why you feel like I just said something that you could actually understand. Like, it's so many layers of spiritual connection. And it's you having to understand that you are creating the universe by creating your soul. And when you create your soul, you create the ability to connect with other spaces who have also created a soul. So literally the whole universe is a constantly expanding soul, like soul group, whatever. Everyone's finding their family. The whole point, the universe is always expanding because you're always adding feeling. That's why every day you wake up with a heartbeat. That's you literally adding your soul to the universe, and then everything you do that day expands the universe. It's like that simple. So now you can see how you create energy. Anyone who told you that you don't create energy, anyone who told you that, oh, energy cannot be created or destroyed, like, that's an idea that was created to enslave your mind. That's not true. You literally create something every day. You create new ideas, you create new shit all the time. So that's just lies. Like, that's just people straight up lying because they want you to believe in one God. They want you to believe that someone created energy that you're just transforming and you're not in control of yourself. You're not an individual. You're literally just an extension of someone else that you've never met, some other infinite person that you can't even conceive, but you had to learn about it through this person. So that's why we're talking about the soul, okay? Because no one can convince you that their ideas are bigger than you until they bind your soul in their language. And then they bind your soul into like understanding what these certain words mean. So now you understand them. You're holding them up like, yeah, the law. I see the light. I see the sun. It's so simple. So simple. There's a law for everything. You Americans think the entire world revolves around you. Go get a different perspective for once. You're literally hilarious. You don't know what perspective that I'm speaking from, obviously. You know that Germany made English, all right? The whole point is that it's a bastardized language. So it's like German and Latin and indigenous. You know how many Native American words are in the English language? So it's an amalgamation of a lot of things. Cora might clapping low key. Hilarious. While I hear what you're saying and agree we aren't taught spirituality, it's not the language's fault. It is entirely the language's fault. This language was intentionally made to take over Native American land and steal indigenous spirituality. So yes, it's not only the language's fault, but it's the people who create the language and the people who ignorantly uphold it. And we just got to recognize that so we can actually care about the history of the language. But you can't say it's not the language's fault when it was made with this intention. We already, I have a whole series on that, dissect the dialect, so not hard. You said the ego is your God, but now you're saying the ego is bad. I've never said the ego is bad. So I don't know where you just got that. People just talk, but that's what we're here doing, right? We're just talking. So whatever. I never said the ego is bad. So the ego is literally God. Your idea of God is individual to you. That's why you can believe in 100 different religions that all say they're the one true God that made the universe, and then reflect on your life like, wow, which one was right? We're just going to have to point at you. We're just going to have to say you're the one who's right. And the sooner you recognize that, the sooner you're going to be able to live an individual life that supports your dreams, and you can just do what you want outside of any religion, because those are all people expressing their own dreams. But they're just saying that you're a part of their dreams, whether you know it or not. And now they're going to use that as an excuse to take over your land, aka the creation of America. This is how Christians justify stealing everything from indigenous peoples with Jesus. Which is why most of these comments coming up saying, I need Jesus, of course, it's just more genocide. And like, I'm finding the balance of addressing them, but not, because it's starting to be a big waste of my time. Hilarious. The soul can't be taught. Yeah, the soul is felt, for sure. No one built religion, it was God-given. Do you know how many religions there are? So that literally, bro, the contradiction's hilarious. What? No one built religion. It was God given. So did God build religion, or did no one build religion? And then did one God build all the religions, seen and unseen? So like they're just extensions of one individual and it doesn't matter? And you're just saying that it's like somehow you're right, but your religion took from another religion, and then we can see the time where it's just a bunch of ideas. That's hilarious. How do you create your own soul? You already created your own soul. Like, these words could only matter to you if you built a relationship with this environment and this reality up to this point. That's literally your soul. So when you see Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange knocks Peter's soul out of his body, that's literally his memories. That's all of his water that makes his body matter. Like, it's that simple. So now, don't you like operate from your memories every day? Doesn't your life only matter, really, because you're operating from this internal water memory that no one can see? I'm pretty sure no one can cut you open and see how much you love your family. No one can cut you open and see how much you love anyone in this environment. No one can see your thoughts. No one can do anything to you to see what's going on inside of your mind, because that shit's spiritual. That shit's invisible. That's the point of you making this body, so that you can bring that into earth. Gang, 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 gang. It's just people are so lost in the languages, and then like having their ego literally bound. No, your soul has already been created. You cannot create it. Yeah, like that's so like weird. So for you to feel like you could tell me that my soul has been created means that you feel like you're God, because you're telling me that I'm not creative. You're telling me that I was created by someone that I need to listen to you tell me about. So you had to use your English language to gain authority over my land, and then steal everything from my family, and then force us to learn what these words meant, so that that could actually mean something to us. And then that's how we build a new world order, right on the back of the dollar bill. Very simple. So again, like that's like genocide talk, but it always has to come as love and light. They always have to use love to spread evil. All that's basically every religion, especially too. So let's go. Let's go. Come at me. I give no fucks. Like, you're literally using love to spread evil. You're telling people that they need to love something that you're teaching them about more than they should love themselves. It's as simple as that. I literally went to church my whole life, and Christians never care about all of my past with Christianity, including my past lives. So even once I start getting into my past lives, Christians don't give a fuck. They just keep telling me I need to worship their idea. I'm like, it's literally like me wasting years of my life talking to someone about the universe when they're just like, but you need to be scared of hell. Like, bro, I chose to come here from my reality. You're what? Oh my God. Whatever, bro. Hilarious. So funny. Yeah. Hilarious. You must educate yourself with the English language. Like I said, again, that's the whole point. Take over indigenous land. Teach us what these words mean so you can educate us to worship you. I get it. You're a white supremacist. It's that simple. Who cares? Like, whatever. Got it. Genocide. You want me to support genocide. You want me to be detached from my spirit. Got it. You want me to be detached from my past lives. Got it. You want me to be a servant to your desires? Okay, whatever. Just say that. I mean, and you are just saying it, but you need to use this other idea to say it. You can't say serve me. You need to say you need to serve Jesus through me. And now the church can make money. Now the government can make money. Now we have the whole climate change ordeal that we're in, where these religions are actively destroying the environment that we're creating to live in because they're saying that we're not creating life. Like literally, humans did not start experiencing climate change until they started believing that they were not creative. I promise you. And that came with all this white supremacist stuff. That came with this New World Order. That came with this whole Industrial Revolution complex of spreading monotheistic religion, of just making everyone believe in one individual. So now we can uphold money. Because this one individual made money to steal the land of Native Americans. And all the people who believe in these religions don't give a fuck about us. They just come up here and keep telling me to support the genocide of myself. I'm really losing my patience for it. But like I have to like use it as education teaching lessons to show us how this world is operating. Because this is like so subconscious. They have to use love to spread evil. That's like the whole subconscious thing of it. So it looks pleasing, but it's obviously resulting in genocide and slavery and climate change. Oh my God. This is wild. Hilarious. But can it be destroyed? The soul cannot be destroyed. Like you're always expanding. So your soul is your water. So that's kind of like, could your memories be destroyed? Like you're always adding on to your memories. Like everything is information that you're building upon in your life. If you can tap into past life information, then that's you being tapped into your soul. Like that's you being connected more with your space than someone who's more invested in the body and they think that they just started existing after they were born, basically. And now everything that they're living, it's only existing after they were born. And now their awareness is limited to this language. They don't remember all the languages they spoke in other past lives and other realities. And they're not able to connect all these languages together, right? So now they don't actually have cosmic intelligence. They have like ego intelligence. And then that's where, again, people are going to come up here and tell me I have to like read more. Or whatever. And they literally just like don't know who I am in that case. Literally. And then this person, what on earth are you talking about? Like people like, it's the same person too. And this person sent me a whole message on Instagram. So like, y'all are so wild. Y'all are so wild. It's just constant, like, subconscious genocide. Like, no, you need to worship us. You need to worship us. I don't give a fuck about your relationship with yourself. I don't give a fuck about who you are. You need to worship us. You need to worship us. Support our idea. Like, yo, historically, your ideas of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are stolen from Zoroastrianism. Every Christian in here can go look up Zoroastrianism and see that that is way older and created their ideas. So then from there, you just have to not care about history, right? So now you just have to not care about history to tell me I still need to worship your ideas while I'm aware of where they came from. So this is two different perspectives. That's the difference. There's ego versus soul right there. The ego just cares about consuming. So it doesn't care about the past. It doesn't care about history. Think about people who don't really care about where their food came from. They're more in their ego. That's the fire. They just want to consume it now. People more in the soul, people who know about connections, they're more in their water. They can see history. They care about the actual cycles of time. Okay, and then this is where you get actual cosmic consciousness. So, I mean, no better words, I guess, than cosmic consciousness versus ego consciousness or even body consciousness. Indoctrinated religious people are as easy to spot as they are hard to find. Yeah. What's your source for everything you're saying in deep belief? Myself, my past experiences, my whole life. Everything that I built up to this point in my soul, all my memories, that's my cosmic consciousness. So that would be my source. That's me. That's my spirit. And this is where we're talking about the spirit versus the soul. So you as the observer have to create a source to experience yourself. And so anytime someone talks about source, think of that like your soul, because knowledge has to come from somewhere. So when I create this body, what's the source? It'd be my soul. So I would be the soul, and then this body would be the thing that is allowing my soul to connect with your soul. Otherwise, my soul would be alone in my space. So if I'm just feeling my feelings alone with myself, how are we going to connect? Right? Like that's all of us separate in our own water. So we have to create earth, right? So we're all standing on earth, technically, right? We call this reality earth. We speak English that wants us to call it earth. So the whole point is we're using our souls to make earth matter. And now we're bringing our vibration to life. And that's all day, every day. Right? That's all day, every day. You are using your heartbeat to bring ideas and this body and this flesh and particles and stuff to life. It's that simple. And now you can see how your whole life is going to be an expression of your individuality, your God. So now you're expressing the universe by combining your universe with the universe. So this is you being an individual. Like you're always going to have an individual experience, but you're trying to figure out how to connect it. This is why, again, you can believe in 100 different religions. And all these religions are going to be different families saying that they're all one true God. So it's just like, okay, so we can see that there's just a million one true gods in the universe then. At some point, everyone's the one true God. Like, let's boom, boom, boom. It's easy then. Like, got it. But then, of course, there's always going to be that one white supremacist who wants to be like, no, but I'm the one true God. My family's the one true God. It's like, okay, but I can see 100 other religions saying that they're the one true God. So you're younger than these religions too. So you don't even care about the history of your religion. You just like want to say that you're the one true God because you want to eat. You want people to believe in you. And you want to help cause climate change and spread slavery. Because that's, again, the whole history of America. And that's why Christians, they don't give a fuck about the history of America. And they barely really give a fuck about where this planet is going. Because they're just like trying to get to heaven by following the rules. And by doing what they think they need to do. And then that's almost always attached to money. And then again, and boom, money encouraging the genocide of indigenous peoples. So it's pretty hilarious. Common sense when you think outside the box. Nope, wrong. That's a victim mindset. You literally have no concept of reality. Man, people really just come up here saying anything. Jesus Christ, of course, praying for you, brother. I don't want your prayers. You are like hitting me up. Like you keep... Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. This is a thing with religious people. They're not happy alone with their own God. They need to go conquer indigenous land. They need to spread out of their reality and go tell other people that they're the one true thing and that we all need to serve them. And it's just like a constant colonization thing. This is what colonialism is. People just constantly spreading out of their space to tell you that you need to worship them, that you need to focus on them. Just constantly coming to your land, stealing your shit, and then lying about it. All because they're saying that you need to worship them. That's all this energy is. As someone who's agnostic, all you need to do is truly believe. Yeah, to get to heaven. It's not about getting to heaven. It's about bringing heaven here. Like, there's no, like, getting to heaven. Yeah, that's hilarious. All right. So, a lot of these comments are lost, but that's because, of course, the people who are, like, actually tapped in, but people always come in and say their shit because that's reality. I mean, the whole point is everyone's an individual God, but when they're trying to connect their individual God to another individual God, they need to feel like they have to use a religion to do it, right? So there's no shortage of people in the Americas, especially, who feel like their individual idea of God is bigger than everyone else's. So they're going to go out of their way to be like, you need my J, you need my Jew, you need my Jesus. You need my J, literally J, the 10th letter of the English alphabet. You need my idea of heaven. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck how you feel about being alone. You need my language. You need to serve me. And we're going to rape and murder you to make that happen. That's the whole history of the Americas, the whole history of how Christianity and Judaism has made its religion matter at all. So again, I mean, people can be up here, keep saying, you need love, you need light. Bro, you don't even care about the history of how you spread love through hate and genocide and murder. And you're still doing it to this day. Like, really? Okay, cool. I guess this is just the communication that we're dealing with down here. All right, so when I'm doing this live stream, I'm building a structure. All right, so like people can come up and say whatever, but the point is, y'all demons who want to keep saying shit are still here watching. And like, you're still here consuming what I'm saying and then trying to fight me. So it's just a demonic world. And at the very least, this is a way that I can protect myself while kicking out wisdom to people who want to resonate with it. But they're also too in their ego to be like, oh, no, I don't know, man. Like, it's wild. Just listen. Like, people who are super in their egos, they will constantly speak out, but you need my ideas. And it's like, if I needed your ideas, then wouldn't you just be happy alone with them? Like, why do you need to go out of your space to make me believe in you and make me believe in your things? Because that only ever results in like war. Like, we only see that results in like violence and like people actually trying to conquer. And that's like all the history. And now people don't want to talk about history because it's full of that violence and it's like too negative and it's like not fun. But it's like, bro, if we don't address the history, then we're not going to build a better future. And it's that simple. That's why I'm so passionate about history, just in general. There are as many gods as there are people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big facts. IDK death, I just can't comprehend I'll be gone one day. It freaks me out. That's real. Hey, eternal fate. Here's the thing though. You're not going to be gone. Death isn't you being gone. Death is you transforming from this atmosphere to another atmosphere. So think about how your mind is breathing life into this world right now. Your mind is breathing life into this body. When you die from this body, your mind would just take everything from this body, your memories, your experiences, the connections that you made, and then transfer them into your space. And then that's where you just expand the universe further, because now you can choose to go into a different world. There's infinite worlds, right? Of course, this world, this simulation, this religion in general says there's only heaven, hell, and earth, right? But the whole point is there's infinite worlds. There's infinite individual spaces because everyone's creating their own thing. It's boom. Like, you got to create your own thing to exist, basically. You know, like, it's kind of that. Hilarious. Hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. These comments are funny. All right. Yeah, let me just get in here. Guess here what's meant to be said, y'all. We think our perspective is the only one that is true. Why? It's so weird. The whole point is every individual has their own perspective, right? Like, this is why the universe is built. The universe exists because we all have our own perspective. Like, it's literally us creating life. It's that simple. It's that, like, when you know that you're the individual creating life, that's you having your own perspective on space. But space is nothing until you imagine it. So now you have your own perspective on light and God. It's as simple as that. Now you have your own perspective on being an infinite individual. And that's you having your own fire. And then from there, you have to create a soul that allows you as an individual observer of space to feel connected with your fire. And that's the point of water. So water is your soul. Fire is your ego. And once you use your water to connect with your fire, you create a mind that allows you to communicate a body. Now you can use that body to experience life. Gang, gang. And now that body is transforming through physical reality. So you can build a family. That's literally 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is the ego, 2 is the soul, 3 is the mind, 4 is the body, 5 is the blood. That's literally you building a family with your body, right? That's basically like your whole life, no matter what religion you believe. This is why everything that I'm saying is bigger than any religion. I'm talking about like how we create the universe. Before a religion is trying to create a language to try to understand smaller aspects of nature. I'm talking about how we build nature and how nature represents the spirit moving through space. And we're all spirits moving through space. But the only way we can relate with each other is if we're using the same structures to do so. That's why you and I are humans, but we also look different. Like we have different individual circumstances. Like you literally have a completely different perspective probably on what it means to be human. This is the point of religion, right? Everyone has their own perspective on humanity. So that's the whole point. You have your own perspective on space. So you have your own perspective on God. You have your own perspective on everything. Like you are an infinite spirit with your own perspective. That's what we're getting into. That's the point. So when people feel like their perspective is the only one that's true, that's because they're a white supremacist. It's that simple. They're a light supremacist. Same thing. They believe that their idea is the biggest idea in the universe and it's the only one that matters. And this is why they're going to go out of their way to make people worship them and make them feel like you're not good enough to be alone and make you feel like you need to slave away on their ideas, slave away and be a servant for their concepts so that they can build their world with your energy. They're literally like this girl in here who keeps like messaging me. Like she literally private messaged me telling me to like give up my precious life to Jesus. And I'm like, yo, girl, these are literally the words that Americans use to rape and murder indigenous peoples for centuries. And you just don't care about that history. And she doesn't. And she's still in here just like saying whatever. It's so weird. Like y'all are wild. Y'all are really wild. All right, so think of death as transformation. Okay, death isn't an ending. All right, so think when you look at this life, when you're born, it may feel like you're just beginning, but it's not a beginning, it's a renewal. Okay, so this is the point of you knowing about your soul. When you know about your soul, you know about your past lives, you're connected to your memories, and you're basically able to perform actual alchemy. You're able to actually do vibrational magic, so to speak. Like everything these superhero movies are about, technically, and just like everything with like superpowers would technically literally come from being like Jesus, right? That's why these religions only piggyback off of what I'm saying. They only piggyback off of what I'm saying. They just act like they're bigger, but they're so small. They only piggyback off of what I'm saying. Again, Christians don't even care about Zoroastrianism, even though their whole stuff is stolen from that. So it's just like, you don't care about history. Got it. You are in your ego. You just want to eat and you're not in your soul. You don't care about how what you eat is connected to the universe you're in. You just want to say that what you're eating, it created the universe. Like, there's no sense there. There's no sense there. But that's the world we're in. I mean, this is the mentality that's causing climate change. All this technology where all these smart people are saying that we're about to go to Mars to upgrade our lives. We're all about to, or not even, of course, all of us, but literally Stephen Hawking saying that the only way that humans can survive colonizing Earth is if they go to Mars. Like, bro, that's white supremacy. That idea is so made up and so toxic. And it's the same idea from the people's saying, oh, energy can't be created or destroyed. We need to go to Mars to survive. You're not making a body on Mars. Your mind, you as a spirit did not use your mind to create a body inside of the environment of Mars. So why would you think you should take your human body to go there and breathe? Like, this is what is considered intelligent. This is what's considered super smart here in this reality. So whatever, like when people are coming up here and trying to say that I actually don't know what I'm talking about and they think that that's intelligent. Wow, man. I have 70 new comments. I'm gonna get through these and then just get to the spirit and soul stuff and get into dissecting the magic. All right, because y'all are really funny. Hilarious. History happened because you think you understand history. You never lived it. Don't act like you know. See, like, that's a projection of you. I know I've lived history. You literally don't know who I am to be saying that. So that's hilarious. Like, again, everyone, perception is projection. If there's anything that I'm going to be having to repeat myself infinitely when I'm doing anything on TikTok, for any, like, just in general for the rest of life, but especially TikTok, because it seems to rule over the algorithm of Earth now. Wonder how that happened. The lesson's going to be projection is perception. Or you can flip it, perception is projection. Either one of these is the same exact thing. Projection is perception, or projection is perception. So every single person who talks to you, they're projecting at you. So they can only perceive you as far as they're able to project. So I can actually see the universe. So I actually know that you're an infinite individual. I actually know that you're the one creating your life, because I know that I've been creating my life for eons. So when people come up and tell me that I'm actually not creative, I know that perception being projection, they can only perceive me as far as they perceive themselves. So they're going to project at me that I'm not creative because they're a consumer. They're a consumer in general. And I get it. This is the world we're in. We're literally taught to be consumers. So this is literally somehow most people where they're in this consumer mindset and they can't imagine that you actually have to create life, because this has really been programmed like big high key. Yeah, energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. Like, that's a big lie. That idea was created by somebody, and that's energy. So you can't say that that idea wasn't created. Made up right there. There's a time before that idea. So look at that. That idea was made up. Like, it's so easy. It's so funny. Like, again, this is like people are causing climate change because science literally thinks it's smart to say we're not creative. They literally think it's smart to say that we are not creating energy by beating our hearts right now. It just is transforming because it always existed. And that's a God. So you're just saying we're all an extension of one God. It's all religion. It's all religion. Like, straight up. Perceives what they see. So you believe in all this stuff you talk about, find it impossible for there to be a higher power. The point is, you are the higher power. So every single one of us is the higher power that's making life work. Like, it's not about one higher power ruling over everybody. The whole point is there's different levels of awareness. So I'm literally the spirit that built the simulation of Mercury. So when you look at astrology and you see the simulation Mercury, and then you see Hermes Trismegistus, messenger of the gods, and he's flying around with his caduceus in the universe doing what I'm doing right now, now everything makes sense. And now you can see how the US government stole everything from Hermes. The US government literally stole everything from Hermeticism. Like, all this religion, all this stuff is actually Hermetic. Like, it's actually Zoroastrian. Like, you can see it online, you can Google it. It's just I'm making it make way more sense because I'm the creator of these concepts. So, like, I barely give a fuck about them, but I have to, because that's the point of creating. You create because you care. You create things because you care about connecting with someone else. So it would be impossible for me to be up here if I didn't care. I'm literally creating this live stream. I'm creating this energy to communicate because I care about the ideas that I'm connecting on. So now here I am, boom, building. This is me alone. It doesn't matter technically if you're here or not. If you resonate with what I'm doing, that's nature, right? So this is why a tree is growing no matter what fucking religion you believe. Like, you can get 500 people with 500 different religions, and they'll all say that tree is an expression of their one God. And the tree has nothing to do with their language. So the tree has nothing to do with their projection. Like, the tree is on its own shit. The tree is on its own spirituality. Everyone looking at that tree saying it's an expression of their individuality is the ultimate narcissist. And that's what we're dealing with in the universe. Like, all this religious narcissism. If people don't understand what you're saying, then they aren't ready. Oh yeah, but that's how it always be. And the point is, when I do these live streams, I take them, I put them on my YouTube channel, CymaTree, CymaTree. All right. So, because I know a lot of people like taking notes, and then like once I'm talking and I like start to get kind of fast, it already moved on. So we do have everything up there. Hermetic practices and Gnosticism are deeply ingrained in our culture. Literally, check out my series, Dissect the Dialect. The whole English alphabet is completely hermetic. When you understand the language of numbers, you can see how then every language has to use numbers to create letters. And then these letters build words, right? So think about how every letter in the English alphabet is actually a certain number. It's coming in a certain number segment. So when you know the energy that that number carries, you can see the energy that the letter is going to play out inside of a word. Now it's no coincidence why words are lined up with certain letters. Just letting, like, boom, like, just letting you know, like, no coincidence. Like, this is how we as spirits create the universe, but it all makes sense. It's like matrices and matrices and matrices of just space connecting with space, but using structures to do that. But these structures only matter because of the soul. So that's where you get all this three-prong everything. You cannot simply create something that's already existed. The point is, something doesn't exist until you create it. So like you're literally making something up right now. And like you're just like constantly making things up. Like that's you making up things. So you can exist. So whatever ideas you have about yourself, you're making those up so you can exist. It's literally that simple. Yeah, so for some reason, people feel like spirituality means you're supposed to be a slave to someone you've never met. I fasted a lot. And every time that I connect with myself and I'm alone with God, hanging out, talking to God face to face, it's my higher self alone, completely separate from the universe. So it has nothing to do with your concepts or religions until I choose to touch down into the universe. It's that simple. It's actually that simple. So your idea of being spiritual is actually just being a slave. And that's where America is a Merkaba. And that's stolen from Metatron. I'm sure you know nothing about Metatron. So it's just like, I get it. You don't know about the culture that you're in. You're not the one who created it. You're consuming it. And you're trying to create a life inside the culture that you're consuming. But this culture wasn't created for you. This culture wasn't here to help you. So everyone who gets that, y'all are vibing. Everything you say makes sense. Only the awoke will get it. Y'all are vibing. We're in here. Thank you, O creator of entertainment. Hilarious. You're not as depth to understand. I'm scared and lost again. You don't have to be scared or lost. But if you're scared or lost, that's something that your soul has got to like connect on. And then this is where really I would recommend water fasting. High key. In that case, it would be Spain who created it. The pandemic is loneliness. Absolutely. They don't have eyes to hear. They don't have ears to hear. Yeah. Acid. Absolutely acid. Hilarious. Y'all really like, everyone, bare your hearts in these comments. Y'all are so funny. He's speaking from past pain because he wasn't accepted and he only sees things his way. No more, no less. You literally have no idea where I've been before this lifetime. So like you just told me everything about yourself. So you're saying that you're speaking from past pain because you weren't accepted? Like you don't understand how accepted I am and like how loved I am by my family and my community. So like I literally can't even resonate with what you're saying. So like you're just letting me know that you aren't accepted and you only see things your way, which is why you're up here saying that and telling me what I am when I already know what I am. And it's obviously, it has nothing to do with your concept of reality. Like it has nothing to do with your concept of reality. It's so funny. People are so funny, man. Hilarious. Think bigger. You're waking up. You're so funny. Pay no attention to the armchair theology. Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. We're up here talking about the soul, okay? Now, at some point, once I see the people who are consistently trying to be demonic here, like, I'll learn to block them, but I don't want to like start blocking people yet because everyone is an infinite individual with their own perspective. All right, so it's just about like where your perspective is coming from and how your perspective is trying to connect to. So whatever religion you're using to communicate, I can see what structure you're limited by, basically. It's like that simple. So now your whole concept of reality is actually just contained to this body. So this structure was created at a certain time, and your mind being made after that time feels like that because it is that structure, it can't even conceive a time before that structure. When the point is you created the ability to connect to that structure. So if you got in touch with your soul, you would remember the time before being in that structure, and then you'd be on some other stuff. You'd be on your own spiritual journey. You'd be on your individual spiritual journey, instead of saying that you have to be a slave to someone else's idea that you learned in someone else's language. You create your reality. Your soul has thought, and thought is power. Thought controls all. Absolutely. Your soul, your vibration is your ability to make your thoughts real, right? So think about the difference of, you can think about going to the gym, right? But if you don't use your soul to make that idea real, you won't communicate through your body to do it. Right there, boom. I'm letting you know that your soul is your will. Your soul is your will. Your soul is your water. Your will, your water is what moves your body. I'm literally making all science make way more sense. So again, I get it. Most people aren't even close to this. So it's annoying. Like, I see everyone on like where I'm at, but like I can't do that anymore. So I get it. Let me just build a structure, and then everyone will show who they are over time, right? Everyone shows who they are over time. That's the magic of doing anything in life, really. All right. When you're doing anything in life, you can just enjoy the ride, because ultimately time is going to show who's who. You feel me? Like, a tree is growing no matter how you feel about it. So if that tree, if what it's doing is working, then it's going to be big. It's going to provide an atmosphere. It's going to provide a structure. It's going to grow, right? So like we're just talking about nature here. Like, we're literally talking about nature without the religious concept. Like, how do spirits create nature without language? But now if we have to use language, we'll use this language. But if I'm going to use this language, I'm going to address all the history and the subconscious weight behind it, which is where we get all the religious past stuff and just all that water, literally the subconscious stuff, the memory of this language. Yeah, it's selfish to think it's only us here. People are literally like, y'all are just like talking to yourselves. People literally can't even hear me. It really does. It really does take a certain vibration to actually perceive the environment properly. Like, so many people are like in this like negative self-talk that you could tell them that they're awesome, and if they don't like themselves, they're not going to hear you say that they're awesome. Because my whole point of being up here is letting you know how you're an infinite individual, and giving you the keys on what it means to be an infinite individual inside of this language, inside of this reality. Gang, gang. Right? And then like that's where Christians have to label it, right? So now Paige is like saying like Satanism, borderline. Like, I have nothing to do with Satanism. This, and also you're way more satanic. By the way, Satanism is Christianity. So literally your whole idea of spirituality is satanic, for you to actually feel like you have the godly power to tell someone else that they are satanic. Like, that's literally how, again, all of the Americas was built, through the genocide of indigenous peoples, through her behavior right there. And she's like hitting me up privately. I'm about to make a Cosmic Conversations about you page. Okay. Like, whatever. Like, you clearly want to be out here preaching genocide. That's all. Keep preaching genocide. Let's cut it up. Okay, I'm losing too many brain cells here. I can't afford that. That's hilarious. I'm sure you can't afford to lose like even one brain cell, for sure. So feel happy to please get out of here, instead of consuming my wisdom and acting like you're not. like like the obese Americans, where everyone is just getting fatter and fatter, but they're like, I don't know how I'm getting fatter, and they're just eating junk food all day every day but lying about it. Got it. Again, I get it. This is the American mentality. I understand. I get you guys. I've been living here. Your subconscious creates. That's why meditation, becoming one with the sub, is how you change you. Big facts. Who are you? J Chronicles? Shout out you, J Chronicles. That's right. So this is exactly what I'm saying. Your subconscious is your soul. These are like the same energies. So think about like all of your past life memories would be connected to your subconscious. So that's where we get like subconscious specialists, or like people who can work with your spirit to make your ego aware of past experiences. So now, even though your ego is only aware of this life, you can get connected with your spirit in a way where you become aware of past things. And then that's where you can start to more consciously communicate, because you can learn who you are basically on like a grander level. You feel me? On like a greater scale. It's pretty cool. We swim in the water. That's right. We're breathing water right now. Fasting is the best way to get in tune with your true self. Just big facts right here. I only see big facts from Earthwalker Luna right there. Only big facts. All I do and I study, I don't judge others or their opinions or project. You're literally projecting, like what? People who say they do people, oh my God. This is just what the universe is though. See, this is what the soul is. The soul is chaos incarnate. Like the ability to connect is chaotic. This is why we don't call this planet that's 70% water, water. We call it Earth. Because we don't relate on water. We don't relate on emotion. We're supposed to relate on stability. But stability only matters because of our emotion, right? So that's where we're all learning about our souls based on who we feel stable with. Who do we resonate with? Who do we want to build something with, right? Boom. That's you building a life. That's you figuring out who's your soul group, who's your family, who do you actually love, who do you actually feel connected with, who do you actually want in your space, right? Because you're building a life with the people you connect with. If you're not connected with someone, you're not building a life with them. The moment you connect with someone, the more you connect with them, you're building with them, because your time is your soul. The more you're giving time to things, you're building that thing. That's you using your soul to build something that allows you to connect. Just like I'm using my soul, I'm using my subconscious to speak so that I can spend time building this live stream. And now this live stream is a structure that allows people for the rest of the age of the internet to level up their consciousness. Yeah, hilarious. Perception is projection. We're just going to keep hitting that, okay? Because perception is projection. Perception is projection. Perception is projection. Like, I literally already dealt with it. I've already had like Christian friends where I was friends with them for 5 years, and I gave them so much of my time, so much of my life. And the moment I started to let them know about my spirituality, they call me a demon, because in their mind, I'm only supposed to worship Jesus. So they don't care about the history of how Jesus was brought to indigenous people. They don't care about how Jesus was made up from Zoroastrianism. They don't care about how the universe is way older than the concept of Jesus. And there are planets that are older than Earth. It's a consciousness thing. It's so, woo. Just gotta. Let me take a break real quick. Let me get water. I'm gonna get water. And then we're gonna touch about, spirit and soul. That's hilarious. You saying you remember your past lives is a complete lie. Let's be real, dude. Right, so right there, that'd be projection being perception. Right, so because you can't imagine and you're not at all connected with your past lives, you literally cannot perceive that someone else is. So no matter what I say, you're just here to consume my wisdom. You're here to consume my knowledge. You're here to eat this, but you're going to say that I'm not true, and that I'm not connected to myself, and that I am what you want me to be, which is now I would have to listen to you tell me who I am. And all you're going to tell me is that I'm black, or that I'm your idea of a human, or that I'm a child of God created by your religion, or that I'm something that makes me serve you. So it's just, everyone's in this weird spiritual slavery mindset. And it's just, again, projection being perception. Hilarious. Well, I didn't mean your family. I mean, people in general never accepted you. Didn't you just say that? Wrong. I'm accepted by everybody that I generally interact with. I've had like too social of a life. Like, my wisdom is learning how to cut people off. So no, it's the opposite. The thing is, once I started fasting, that's where I started to really change my relationships, because most people didn't resonate with me once I started vibrating at those different levels. So the more I started fasting, the more I started to change literally everyone that I was relating with. So that's where people didn't accept my fasting, because they're more in like, you need to eat. I can't relate with you if you're not eating. And then I'm fasting for spiritual things, and then it's just a whole thing. I love how he just laughs heartily at the detractors. They're really funny out here. They really are. Somebody telling you what you do or do not remember is such a joke. Thank you. I believe. Thank you. Literally, like, people are just out here like, what? You think you know who you were before you were born? That's a lie. You only know right now. That's someone who only knows right now so hard, they're not willing to listen to spirit. Like it doesn't make sense to me to not know where I came from. So like, it's been years of my life and my journey, water fasting, connecting with my spirit to know where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not, people are just so, yeah. It's ego. It's ego. This is why humans are so like violent now. Like, people are like, it's war. It's a lot of Martian energy. People really don't know how they have witchcraft practice on them. Like, majorly hard. It's a shame. In fact, let me get this water, bro. Y'all are funny. All right. Because look, literally the soul is your memory. So if someone is expressing to you a memory that they had, that's literally an expression of their soul. And for you to say that they don't have that memory is you using your soul to try to kill their soul. And then that's really just you trying to use your ego to express over them and say that you're God. Because you're saying that they can't be themselves. Like, you guys don't know how narcissistic that acts. Like, you're still being God, but you're doing it in like the infinitely small, like demonic way. Like, you're not even taking responsibility for being like, no, I as an individual don't think you as an individual are real. You need to cling on to something else, and then be like, no, you need to worship this thing. See how it's bigger than all of us? And then it's just like pandering, and just again, slavery. And I understand. All right, it's slavery. I understand. We're in a slavery world. It's hard. It's hard. All your past lives are stored in the magnetic resonance. If you access it, you remember. That's right. Your magnetism is your polarity. That's your water. That's your soul. Magnetism, polarity, water, soul. That is all your memory, right? This is why your brain, your memories are magnetic. Your memories are polarized. Your memories are your soul, right? Your memories are invisible. No one can see the memories in your brain, but it would be pretty stupid. That person telling me that my past lives are not real would be just like them telling me that my memories from yesterday aren't real. It's the same exact energy. It's the same exact energy. Like, if you talk to me about your past lives and I said that wasn't real, I might as well tell you that what you did in grade school wasn't real. I might as well just say that everything that happened before right now wasn't real, because you can't show me that, because that's invisible. That's just a memory. So now we just like, what, people are just infinitely lost in light because they don't know how to relate on the soul. Sad. What were you in your past lives then, Law? My spirit built Mercury to stabilize the way that it communicates into the universe. So anytime I make a body in a simulation like this, I'm communicating from my own space. It's that simple. I'm experiencing life inside of here. I can separate my mind from this body and travel to other spaces. And I know for a fact that I use my mind to come into this body, and I've used my mind to communicate through this body to build my life up to this point, just like all of you. So just like me, all of you are from your own space, and you have your own minds, and you chose to be born into this simulation, into this reality at this specific time, so that you could grow and live your life in the way that you want to live it. And ultimately, whatever you're doing, I promise you want to connect with the space outside of yourself. That's why everyone's basically scared of dying. When you die, you go back to being alone. Okay, so every religion, all these people up here who need to colonize my energy and colonize my space with my own creations because they're consumers and they don't understand or whatever. All these religions literally need to make you believe that they're more creative than you because they actually need your creative energy. Like, there was a time where you didn't know what these religions were, which means that you were creative before you were aware of that religion. Like, it has nothing to do with that religion. It has everything to do with you as an individual. You can't escape you as an individual. Like, you as the individual spirit are the one making your ability to connect with others possible. That's why you can connect with infinite religions through infinite space and time, but they're all going to teach you about yourself. Every religion you believe in is just going to teach you about yourself. So at some point, you could write your own religion, and now you just add it to one of the many religions in the world. Look at, way to go. That's the universe expanding. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. What are people on? Your imagination is deceiving. Paige, you're so wild. Like, you're still saying things. Like, I'm baffled. Like, I understand you want to have a conversation. I'm down to have a conversation. Okay, I'm going to do a Cosmic Conversations. I'm giving you a whole video based on the messages that you sent me in my inbox. Okay, because talking to you directly doesn't make sense. But using everything that you want to say to build a structure that teaches the world about how you're encouraging the genocide of indigenous peoples does make sense. Because now we can learn way more intelligently than if I was actually talking to someone like you directly, right? For you to literally hit me up in my inbox telling me to give my precious life to Jesus while telling me that my imagination is deceiving when I'm literally the spirit that made your religion is insane. And I didn't even make your religion. Your religion was stolen from my principles, because I'm just talking about Hermetic science, Zoroastrianistic science, astrology. Your religion is astrology, but your religion is using astrology against you. So all you can do is use your ideas against other people, and now you're just like constantly projecting genocide. And it's like not intelligent. And like literally I would have to be completely disconnected from my past lives and my awareness of myself as a spirit to somehow support you in, I mean, basically raping me with your ideas. Because that's all Christianity does. That's the whole history of the Americas. And the fact that you can't even talk to me about the history and the deep, deep ways that Christianity has been used to spread genocide and slavery to Native Americans shows me that you don't have any empathy, Paige. You have no empathy. Your love and empathy are not the same, Paige. I guess I gotta talk to people directly. Fuck, we're just gonna like get demonic. I'm here on TikTok. Fuck it. Like, I've had my account deleted multiple times. Like, I don't need to act like I'm quote unquote above actually just talking to people directly. Like, a lot of people are in the comments like, do you want us to mod? Like, I can be your mod. Like, nah, if people need help, all right, like, I get it. You need to talk to me in some way, because this girl like just keeps messaging and doing stuff. So, all right, Paige, there's a huge difference between love and empathy. You having love is not the same as having empathy. Empathy is understanding that everyone has a different idea of love. So my love for myself is not the same as your idea of love for me. You have no idea who I am, but you're saying that your love for me is why I should sacrifice myself to your ideas. And you don't give a fuck about how I know way more about your ideas than you. So where does that leave me? You know, like, what do I do, Paige? I sacrifice myself, like you say. I need to give my precious life to Jesus, even though I'm literally, my whole channel, everything I have is CymaTree. Everything on YouTube, my whole website is about the spiritual history behind Christianity and Judaism and literally the universe. But you're just not on that level, so you're just going to keep projecting at me. You're just going to keep telling me that I need to worship your very limited idea about life that was created from stealing something that I made. Really? Very silly. Very silly. And it's just like, I'm saying this for us, for everyone who listens to this going forward, and everyone who is actually resonating. Because the point is, you give me the opportunity to set an example for how energy moves and how colonizers colonize, basically, and how people use love to spread genocide. People use love to spread hate, because your ideas are very hateful, but you love them so much, you're saying that they're not hateful. And so you're constantly using your idea of love to spread hate. That's not empathy. You have no empathy. You have to learn empathy. You're a spiritual child. And I understand that it doesn't even matter what age you are. Like, all these people, I really understand. I get it. I look young. I'm old as fuck spiritually. And that's what I have to learn. I have to, because I feel young. All right. Time isn't shit. You feel me? Like, I feel young. But people spiritually in this realm, just because they look old, if they're operating at this level, it means because they're spiritually young, right? You can physically be 30. You know, you can physically be 40, you can physically be 50, but you're spiritually young when you're operating at these levels. That's all. So you still have to learn empathy. You still have to learn that your idea of love is not someone else's idea of love. Because when you love a religion, your love is limited to loving people who love the same religion as you. I'm making it so simple. Like, this is so simple. I'm just making communication simple. I'm literally Hermes Trismegistus. All right, God of communication. Everything that you have in Christianity and Judaism, everything in these religions only matters because of messengers of Mercury. It's bigger than Hermes. It's about being a space moving through structures that you build to sustain yourself. It's that simple. So now you can see how every word is something you have to make up. So my new creation is CymaTree. All right, my new creation, Chase Clarence Calloway. I don't give a fuck about being the past lives, but at the same time, I have to build upon that, because what's the point in being alive otherwise? Like, it's otherwise literally being a slave to someone who's telling me that my imagination is deceiving, when my imagination literally created their idea of Jesus, and they're telling me that their idea of Jesus is bigger than everything that I've done. And it just makes no sense. They're just lost. Like, that's the ultimate demonic energy. This is just nice because I can build a structure that allows us to learn from it. So now we can all level up, and it's nice. Boom. We're not wasting time just like fighting each other. Actually, we're actually learning here. We're actually growing. Okay, because that's what humans have truly been doing up to this point, wasting their time fighting each other. I care about all of y'all. Like, even people who are coming up here, I get it. Your idea of love, you want me to love being a slave to your concepts because your ego is so invested in your religion, you can't perceive anyone outside of your religion. I get it. That's colonialism. This is how all of North, South, and Central America has been built, through the genocide of indigenous peoples. I get it. You're supporting that. I completely understand. I'm finding the balance between connecting with you and protecting myself from you, right? Because obviously you want to connect with me. I'm not coming into your inbox and telling you not to believe in Jesus, but you're coming into my inbox and telling me not to believe in myself. Like, wow. You know, like Native Americans didn't go to Europeans and be like, hey, you guys need to eat healthy. Europeans came to Native Americans and were like, hey, you guys need to eat unhealthy. And now we have the Americas. You're contradicting yourself, though. Tell me where I'm contradicting myself so I can show you that it's all clear. All right. Space doesn't necessarily contradict itself, but also life contradicts itself. So if the way that you've lived life up to this point makes it sound like I'm contradicting myself, that's fine. Absolutely. Let me know what sounds contradicting so I can give you the clarity on that. I don't need a book or people's opinion to guide my morality. I feel sad for weak people who do. Absolutely, Choppy Mullet Man. Absolutely. It makes no sense. Like, just like the basic understanding of knowing that you existed before this language. Like, when you know, like, just think about it in a cosmic sense. If you live even just 10 basic lifetimes, every single lifetime is going to have its own language with its own culture and its own seasons and like its own system and its own ideas, its own atmosphere, its own everything. So like every single culture is very well going to say they're the one and true God. But after you die, you're always going to be left with yourself. You're always going to be left with yourself as an individual. And the question of, yeah, but what did you build? Like, did you keep supporting someone that said they were the true individual? Or did you realize that they were actually talking about you and you're the true individual? And that's why you can see yourself in every religion that you believe in. I don't speak not only for myself, but those that don't have a voice. Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Right. We're all projections of God. You and I are creators. We are all projections of our own imagination, which is your God. That's why your God is separate from my God. We are not all one God. Your idea of God has nothing to do with my idea of God. Nothing to do with my idea of God at all. We have completely separate imaginations. That's why we're completely aware of different shit, and that's why we have to create differently. And now we can see how we move in the universe. There are people who consume and people who create. The people who consume are way more low vibrational. The people who create are higher vibrational. And then this is where people who create naturally resonate with water fasting more. Whereas people who consume, well, they obviously eat a lot, right? I like how you don't contradict yourself as much as even the Bible. And I get it. If it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, it's just people's relationship with the words. So that's why like questions are good. I'm up here doing a live. If you have questions like, how can you say this but this? I'll be like, oh, let's just unwind that for you. All right, boom, there you go. And let's just align your spine. All right, the chi flows. Okay, don't worry. Things aren't in a knot here. Yeah, see, like this person's just projecting hard. Like just coming up telling me, but you never look at yourself. So how could I be up here doing a whole live stream about your soul and your spirit and past lives and memories? And then you're coming up here telling me I'm not who I am and I don't look at myself. Like you're just more super demon energy, right? You're just up here talking about yourself. And I'm just watching you talk about yourself to me, but you're telling me that I'm you. I'm not you. We're not the same. We're not reflections of each other. I'm completely separate from you. Should everyone deserve the right to be accepted by who they are? Only if you can accept yourself for who you are. So once you can accept yourself for who you are, you deserve to be accepted by people who also accept themselves the same way that you accept yourself. That simple. You feel me? And then that's how you build families in the universe. So this is how you can build a family in one reality. You can find like 3 family members you really fuck with, throw all the other family members away, go into a next life and build a bigger, better family with those 3 family members. And then you find more people, like 4 more family members that you fuck with. This is how spirits use the universe to create families and build connections. Okay, so this is why all these religions, they don't give a fuck about my family, right? Like literally, as Hermes Trismegistus, my family is Atlantis. My family is Anubis. When people come up here telling me not to give a fuck about my family and I need to worship them, that's genocide. I get it. I get it. I built your system. I get it. Okay? I'm doing something way bigger than you, but thanks for being part of it. Check out these live streams on YouTube. Gang. Okay? Hilarious. All right, this is for the world. All right, I'm doing this for the world. I'm doing this for the internet. And then that's where exactly this demonic page girl is now, after all that projection of how we need to sacrifice ourselves to her, she's saying, y'all need to come to my live. Hilarious. Go to Paige's live. I give no fucks. Check her out. Let's see what she's saying, right? I'm not going to do it because, again, I built her system. So her concept of everything she's preaching literally has nothing to do with where it actually came from. You know, you can go to my website to actually see how Zoroastrianism built Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and fucking astrology. All right. And then you can see how fasting and really your whole body and the whole universe is connected with that. You can see how Christianity is stolen from the Emerald Tablets. You can see how Christianity is stolen from the ideas of Hermeticism. Literally the whole idea of garden, Adam and Eve, Hermetic. Your Adam and Eve garden is literally your soul. That whole story is stolen from Hermes. But only I as Hermes can tell you that. And it takes you having the right vibration to be able to Google it, make all the connections in your own intelligent mind, sit on it with your spirit and be like, yeah, that sounds right. That makes sense. And then boom, we can move forward. Now we can see how the story in the Bible isn't about you literally worshiping Adam and Eve or thinking that they created humans. It's about how you create life from the inside out. That simple. And then that's where they're weaponizing this energy to tell you to worship them. Because that's all they can do. Hilarious, Paige. Tell him to let me go live with him. Paige, I'm already giving you your whole own Cosmic Conversations video. Okay, so if you're about to be a hate watcher, if you're literally going to be hate watching my channel because that's your spiritual journey, I don't give a fuck. I will give you your own video because we need to learn about how you literally don't even know the words you're saying, and you don't even know what the words you're saying actually mean. And then we can all learn from that, and then I'll be able to build and we can all level up, and it's cool. But you're constantly trying to belittle their progress. He needs to hear. Again, Paige, you literally don't give a fuck that I am the spirit that built Christianity, and as this body, I've lived my entire life as a Christian. I've read so many Bibles. I've gone through the programming before I literally water fasted for 24 days straight, did 4 tabs of acid, blasted out the simulation, and then proceeded to do years of fasting and more journeys on top of that to get up to this point where shit's just very simple. Because it's just a creator mindset. It's just a spiritual versus physical mentality. When you're looking life from the top down, you can see your own perspective of life. So because I know who I am, you telling me that I'm not who I am has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. And now we can all learn about that because we're in the same atmosphere talking about it. So because you can project at me, I can react to you. And now I can learn about myself based on how I project from your projection. And then we're all just communicating, right? So gang, gang. But the whole point is you give no fucks about my relationship with your religion. You just want to consume my time and come up here and tell me your perspective and project at me shit that I've been hearing my entire life. My entire life. You're going to tell me shit that I've been hearing my whole life. I've been going to church my whole life. No, like literally everyone, my whole life was worshiping Jesus until I started asking the question, why am I worshiping a man for fasting instead of doing it myself? Once I started doing it myself, life became different. Okay, so that's the perspective you're getting it from. Okay, a spirit who actually did it and is actually working from the top down, not consuming and lost in the body and looking up like, where's God? I need to find God outside of myself. Your God is from the inside out. You're God. You are the God that you're looking for outside of yourself. You need to meditate and go in. The problem with Christians and Western religion in general, right? The Industrial Revolution is that this European white supremacist, light supremacist, fire mindset, it can't go in. It constantly needs to go out. The longer people stay in here and hard to convince, the less convincing they are. Absolutely. Paige is just here eating wisdom. Exactly. Paige. Ooh, I get it now. You want the attention on you. Got it. That's right. Heroes wear boots. That's right. 100%. Not even close. I don't need it. I just want to talk to him personally. Paige, you're literally just going to tell me what my youth pastor, what school, what overall church, what all of these systems have been telling me. I know it. I made it. Like, you're literally here listening to me, projecting at me that you want me to pay attention to you because you want me to worship Jesus. You already hit me up in my inbox telling me to sacrifice my life to Jesus. And I already replied to you about the history, and you already didn't care about the objective history. So if you logically don't care about how your religion is used to enslave indigenous peoples, you don't have empathy. We can't have a real conversation. I would be really stupid to bring you on this live and think we are going to have a productive conversation. I would be really stupid. That's all. You don't have empathy. It's impossible for you to have empathy when you don't care about how your religion was used to rape and destroy native land and native families and native cultures overall. Like, the fact that you don't give a fuck, I mean, where's your empathy? How can we build anything there? Like, how can you build a relationship or any kind of anything with someone who doesn't actually empathize with you? Like, it's all just going to be like destructive, waste of time, chaos energy. Some people do remember their past. You're wild. So, like, just more projection. Some people do remember their past. You're actually a narcissist yourself because you don't listen to other opinions or thoughts. That's literally you telling me what you do. You're literally up here telling me that you don't listen to other people's opinions or thoughts. As a spirit, I built Mercury to literally listen to all the opinions and thoughts of the universe. Like, I'm literally observing the universe like 24/7, like as a cosmic observer. You have no perception of who I am or where I'm operating from. You're literally telling me that that's you. You don't listen to other people's opinions or thoughts. So you're up here telling me that I'm somehow a narcissist when I'm telling you that life is about you. How can I be a narcissist when I'm not telling you life is about me? I'm telling you life is about you, but life is about everyone creating life together. So now it's about you as an individual figuring out what kind of life do you want to build in the universe. How do you see, like, you're just showing how narcissistic you are, that like you want to throw that word on people. Sad. Armchair theologists think they're right. Yeah. What happened in your past life? See, now you're going to ask me what happened in my past life. There's no... People are chaotic. Y'all are chaotic. So funny. Imagination is deceiving. Everything you think isn't true nor reality. Paige, you're talking to yourself. There are two separate entities within you. You can't tell me what's within me. That's your imagination. How lost are you, Paige? Like, how lost can you actually be to say these two things back to back? Imagination is deceiving. Everything you think isn't true nor reality. Okay, so you're going to tell me my imagination is deceiving. Everything I think isn't true. And now you're going to tell me that there are two separate entities within me. So I need to use my belief to make your imagination real, but you're imagining who I am. You telling me there are two separate entities within me has nothing to do with what's actually inside me, because you have no idea who the fuck I am, Paige. You just keep telling me who you are. And you just keep projecting at me your very limited ideas. It's so weird. People are wild. People are wild. I didn't expect to be going to war like this. I was supposed to come up here and talk about the soul and connection, but the whole point is this is what people want to connect on. You know, people want to come up here and connect like this. And That's an expression of your soul. This has nothing to do with me. The fact that I feel like staying here means that I'm choosing to continue this live because I'm choosing to connect with you. That has nothing to do with your religion. That has everything to do with me. So you can only learn about me for myself. You have to learn about me as an individual. If you're not willing to learn about me as an individual, you're literally just here to tell me who I am. And all you're going to tell me is that I'm created by your limited idea of life. And now I can see what religion and what mindset you're trapped by and what you're operating in. And that has nothing to do with me until I realize I fucking built your religion through Zoroastrianism, Hermeticism, Odinism, bro, like so many other systems, just in general. Mercury as a concept. All these religions are working off of astrology. All right, we literally see the week structure. Sunday is the sun, Monday is the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury. So right here in our week structure is already astrology. You can literally Google and see how Mercury is the middle of the week because it's Thoth day. That's Hermes day. That's Odin day. Only I can tell you that because I, as a spirit, built Mercury to connect to the universe. So this is who I am. And it has nothing to do with your religions, but religions will build their shit with my wisdom. They'll build their shit with my knowledge. So I can come in as someone who has nothing to do with any religion and make every religion connect and make sense because it was connected by me anyway. From eons ago, we're just in future, right? So now we're in a later time where people are so lost in their ego right now. They're too disconnected from their past lives and shit. So it's just a bunch of projection and shit. Just a bunch of war. And now all this energy that I'm dissecting is being used against everybody. That's all. What happens if everyone knows your thought and feelings? Only you know your thought and feelings. You have to communicate them. That's why you make art. That's why you make a heart. So your soul is literally making this heart so you can communicate your art. Through what? Earth. Think of how earth and the heart are the same letters. That's the spirit letting you know that your heart is your earth. Your ability to create is literally your heart. But you have to create with others. That's why you have to beat a heart and feel like you want to vibe with other humans so that you can actually communicate with them. Like the moment your heart starts beating a certain way, right? You don't want to vibe with a certain human and now you're going to stop communicating with them. Or you might be like Paige or a normal Christian and you want to project at them and take over their land, steal everything from them and then lie about it because that's your love. That's your idea of divine wonder. Divine wonder. Man, yeah, this is hilarious. The point was I wanted to come up here and talk about your soul, okay? Because everything that I'm saying to you, everyone who's in here, especially at this point, vibing, the only reason is because you have a soul that is in resonance with mine to a certain degree. And you have synchronistically found yourself in the same location that I am communicating in, right? So now because our spirits have their own souls that vibrate, our bodies can come here in this simulation and connect. So the whole point is you had to have a feeling of being here, of opening your phone, of staying on the thing. Like the whole point is this is always your life, right? Your soul is always showing you your life. Like, what are you connecting on? What are you resonating with? Like, what are you using your vibration to bring life to? Because that's your heart. You have to use the vibration through your heart to live some kind of life, to create some kind of reality, to do some kind of thing. Like, that's always us. Like, you can make up a religion about that, but that's just going to be an expression of your heart. This is why an individual with an individual heart can believe in 100 different religions. You know how many different versions of Jesus Christ there are in history? Like of the Messiah idea? The idea of fasting in general comes from Mercury. This is why I fast and why I actually do it. Versus the Christians who tell me I need to keep worshiping someone for doing it for me instead of me doing it myself. But then once I tell them that I fasted and literally talked to God myself, they're going to tell me that that's not true because they want to eat me. And they literally just cannot conceive of actually being individuals. So whatever. All right, it's all about the soul. Okay? And here in Always a Saying Academy, we are getting the point across that your soul is your water, your ego is your fire, your mind is your air, and your body is your earth. Okay? And you use all these things to build a family, and that's your energy. All right? So you're creating energy. Your ability to create energy is to create a family. So the people who told you that energy cannot be created, they want you to be a part of their family, and they don't want you to have a choice to build your own family. I've been building my families for eons. I have my own families. It has nothing to do with these people's ideas. But then it has everything to do with it because they stole their ideas from my family. But their ideas of our ideas are really just their ideas of how they want to consume what we built through our ideas. But the point is, no one can touch us. Like, as a spirit, no one can touch you. When you know that you are space and your space is completely separate from other spaces, this is where you're able to use your soul to choose who you touch, how you touch, where you touch, when you touch. That's your life, right? Like, if you don't feel like going out, that's you as a spirit observing your state, being like, do I want to go connect with people? Nah. And then you just don't vibe, right? And then you stay home, right? You'll be like, I want to connect with myself. And then that would be you staying in, doing what you got to do, right? You can smoke a blunt. You can play video games. I mean, a lot of people play video games, right? In general, I'm just giving the 3D example of how all this spirituality stuff plays out. Dang, this failed. I have a technology thing going on and it failed. That's okay though. That's okay. Let's see what's up. Yeah, like, y'all are hilarious. Yeah, see, you're so hilarious. Man, I can't even reply. Like, y'all are wild. And then the same person who told me I'm lying and told me I'm a narcissist is saying that I'm offensive. Like, you're so, like, how chaotic are humans? Like this is the epitome of the chaos energy, is the soul. Like, a chaotic human is someone who's going to come up and tell you you're a narcissist and that you're a liar and that you should shut up. And then once you say, whoa, hold up, but what you're saying is wrong, then they turn around and say, wow, you're offensive, you're mean. So like, people can call you names all day, basically. Like, that's just life. You feel like, yeah, the more people you interact with, it's just it's inevitable. You're just going to interact with spirits who just like need to keep throwing labels on you. That's a white supremacist. This is the white supremacist mindset where they need to come up with the N word, right? They need to come up with words like black, come up with all these different labels to throw on people because that's how they cast stones. It's all biblical. They're playing out Bible stuff. They need to create a word to make them feel like they're good casting judgment on something they actually don't understand. So because people don't understand me, but they want to, they're just in here constantly casting stones, constantly casting judgment, but consuming my knowledge and my wisdom anyway. And then walking away from here thinking about it and shit, and then trying to come back like Paige hitting me up, trying to just project constant garbage at me. Consumers, I love your judgment. I'll be praying for you. You have so much hate. Like, yeah, like, what a evil projection. Like, I literally am telling you how your religion uses love to spread hate objectively, and how if we all just love ourselves, we don't have to support a religion that spreads itself through genocide. But you don't give a fuck about the history of your religion. You don't give a fuck about genocide. You don't give a fuck about Native Americans. You've shown me that through our conversations. I understand. I get it. That's how all of America was built. I would be stupid to try to make someone who doesn't care about me care about me. You only care about yourself, and you need me to care about you. But you barely even care about yourself, so you only care about Jesus. And then that's where you support the rape and murder of me and my family because we are not on your system, aka we're Native American. This is, again, the creation of the Americas. This is the creation of all of North, South, and Central America. The energy that Paige and Christianity plays out overall. Like, the idea of Jesus is meant to take over native land. It's that simple. And people who don't care about that are supporting it. And they have to use love to support that. And then that's why they're going to keep preaching love and keep preaching forgiveness and keep saying like, but you need to be a slave to our idea. You need to support how we take over other people's land. It's pretty wild. We worked together in past lives, still can't see it. I can see you. Hey, King of the Innocent? Absolutely. All right, if you feel like that's true, it's very well true. I work with a lot of spirits, okay? And the whole point of this awakening journey right now is that, I mean, honestly, we're pretty early in the building stages of, this reality is going pretty wild. We're in a huge transformation time, right? We're like in a major shift, major shifts, major shifts for everybody, big shifts. Where's Anubis at? Anubis is in Atlantis. Anubis, he's making connections in the universe. He's just constantly facilitating connections. It's a job. It's quite a job. But that's the point of water, right? That's the point of Atlantis. Like Atlantis is the interdimensional water world that connects simulations in the universe. So when you see, like, when you Google Atlantis, the whole point of it being mystical and all these different civilizations having their ideas of it is that Atlantis is like the metaphysics, spiritual alien dimension, where this is like basic wisdom of us knowing that we create life from the top down. So this is how we can see that Atlantis is literally really the universe, and then it trickles through civilizations based on how spirits from Atlantis communicate into that reality. So it's like more complex than just a location, but it is also a product of Anubis' space. He's very powerful. Paige is a huge projector. Yeah, it's hilarious. It scares them how they can't accept they have to admit it's all there. Yeah. Who are you without hiding behind? Yeah. People judge if you somehow believe differently than you are at the correct. Like, fall they have to show who they are. Yeah, if you don't believe anything, so why you're obviously your soul needs his wisdom. Thank you, Earthwalker Luna. I'm saying, and that's why I don't block people. All right, I'm not going to get so in my ego that I stop people who are just like really aggressive in their communication from catching this awakening fade. Catch this awakening fade. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you. You can come up here and talk your shit. We're just going to learn from you. We're all just learning from each other. Like, that's the point. Like, that's why I also don't want to like shut anyone down. Like, come up here, let's learn from you. Like, if what you're saying isn't worth it, like, it's going to show. That's fine. Where's this water? I'm about to get this water. Oh, do this, California indigenous. Why? What you did to us. Yeah. But he just said all Christians were evil based off two people who are ignorant. I did not say all Christians were evil based off of two people. The religion of Christianity was created to take over the land of indigenous peoples, and the religion of Christianity is stolen from Zoroastrianism. These are objective historical facts that you can Google and go learn way more about if you want to. If you don't feel like Googling and learning more about that, then that's on you. Nothing to do with me. Religion separates. Yes, it does. Nature connects, religion separates, okay? And I'm talking about how nature is created so religion can exist. So all of your religions only exist because spirits create nature. If you don't know how spirits create nature, well, honestly, fuck you. Now, if you're still here, you clearly care about it. And that's why you can say all the shit you want, but you're learning like, but how do I create nature? And now you can see how all religions exist. And that's why you're here. Okay? Whether you're hate watching me and inboxing me garbage, or you are gratitude watching me, which I do, I think, like more, and you're actually sending me gratitude messages. You don't have to send me gratitude messages, but I would appreciate a gratitude watching instead of hate watching. But I understand I'm not going to cut off a hate watcher. I'm not going to cut you off. All right. All that hate has to do with you. If you're telling me I'm hateful, that's just you learning about yourself with me, because we can all see that I am like infinitely far from hateful. So I mean, who cares? Communication, right? Now we can just talk about what hate is. I would love to dissect what hate is with you. Like, oh, what's hate? And then it's just going to be more of you projecting your idea of emotions, and that's just infinite details. Shit. All right, whatever. Let me just get this water. Religion separates indeed. Nature exists whether your religion believes it or not. Like, if nature is real before your religion is real, then your religion trying to rationalize nature is only going to be an expression of your individuality. Like, that's all, and then that's fine. But the moment you say that your individuality created other individuals, and I can see that you stole your creations from me, that doesn't make sense. So everyone in these religions who are telling me that I'm not me, they don't make sense. And that's whatever. I mean, that has nothing to do with me. We didn't even cut trees. We cut the deal. Can we talk about something else, something spiritual? Jenner, we can talk about something spiritual, which is basically everything we're talking about. Because the whole point is your space, having a soul that allows you to connect with bodies. Right? So this body, everything I'm saying only matters because of your soul. So when you think about your ability to connect, that's literally your invisible vibration. That's your memory, right? So every single thing I'm saying is being added to your memory. And every single thing I'm saying, you are comparing and connecting with based on your past memories and everything you've been doing up to this point. So everything that I'm saying is impacting everyone differently. That's why I have to find the balance of replying to comments, but also just going off, because people are here in their own minds. And again, everything that I'm saying is just hitting everyone differently. So for me to actually address people directly is bringing my consciousness really hard down. Whereas if I do talk generally about spiritual stuff, yeah, everyone is going to be getting what they need to from it, which is a great point that you are saying. You did bring this up. But everything's spiritual. Okay, so me addressing all of your ideas is the most spiritual shit, because as spirits, I mean, we don't exist alone, right? When you're sharing ideas, no matter whatever they are, I'm connecting with them. That's spiritual. The history of the Americas is not the whole history of Christianity. Right. The whole history of Christianity is stolen from Zoroastrianism. So, gang. We are talking spirituality, Jenner. Absolutely. So I must cause destruction and chaos in order to show my true power in nature? No. You don't cause destruction and chaos in order to show your true power in nature. That's really funny, though. Oh. Your ego is your order, and your soul is your chaos. So when you know that your ego is your order and your soul is your chaos, this is where your mind's job is to balance these things, right? So your life is about balance. Your whole life is about balancing order and chaos, right? Your ego and your soul, your fire and your water. So there's your future and your past, right? Your future is what you're constantly going into, but you're only able to constantly go into it because you've been somewhere before, and that's your past. So your past is always going to matter. That's where you've been before. You can't ignore that shit. That's literally your soul, okay? So that's where we're talking about your vibration and your memories and everything. And then you as a spirit are able to use air. You're using your mind to travel, and then that gets experienced as earth, right? So now your body can time travel, and now your body can literally split through dimensions. Now your body can travel through different atmospheres because of literally you having that awareness of your internal elements, and your fire being your future, your water being your past, your mind being your present, and your earth being reality, right? And reality can be technically anything, right? Your reality is the past, but it's also the future, but it's really right now, right? So it's the whole point is it's all connected, right? Like all these elements are working together so you can experience life right now. Like your fire is your future. That's your ego, envisioning where you're going. Your soul is your water. These are the connections that you've made up to this point. So that's where you've been. Your mind is you communicating these things into existence, and then the body is there to stabilize your mind. Right now, your mind can breathe life into this body, so its communication can actually matter. Now I'm actually creating matter with the way that I communicate because I'm connected, because I'm conscious, right? People, spirits who aren't conscious, they don't create matter, right? So this is where all of you are conscious. Everyone here is a conscious individual, right? That's the point of consciousness. So you use your consciousness to create matter. That's why your whole life is about what matters to you. Like what matters to you, your matter, the shit that you build, literally, the shit that you build, literally. Like that's your structure. Like that's what you're building up so that you can connect with other people and stabilize your space, right? Think about how your whole life is something you're building. That's simple. You just said you're above though. We need help, not you. Man, Paige needs attention. She can't start her own discussion. She has to use yours. Literally, everyone needs help. I'm listening in delusion. Yeah, it's about... Yeah, it is, but not for the first 22 years. Jesus was not a Christian, right? She's taking his energy right now. This is what she's trying. It's working. Yeah, he's on white Christianity, not black. Christianity itself, again, the idea is... It's not about white or black. White or black was created by Christianity. Your idea of white and black is religious. Like these colors are hermetic. I can tell you what the colors mean. Like white represents the number 0, black represents the number 9. This is shit that they stole from Hermes. This is shit that they stole from Hermeticism that they won't teach you or tell you about. They're just going to build a religion that uses a shit against you. So your idea about it is completely lost and chaotic inside of yourself. It has nothing to do with the actual energy that makes the universe function. Christianity in general, whether white or black, is taken from Zoroastrianism. Jesus was a Jew, the Merkaba. The idea of a Merkaba was stolen from me as Metatron. So again, the idea of Jesus is much younger than the spirit of Metatron. Just put it like that. The idea of Jesus is so much younger than the spirit of Metatron, the spirit of Enoch. So much younger. It's taken from him. You know, I'm going to start talking about my past lives in third person, just so it's easier for people to Google it. I'm realizing that that's just going to make it easier. Like for me as a consciousness, I talk about Chase in third person. Shit. Talk about CymaTree in third person. I'll just talk about all my past lives and all the different parts of myself in third person so that people don't like get super lost in the ego. And now it's easier for you to just Google it and see how what I'm saying makes the internet make more sense. I'm making this reality make more sense. Do you just use love to compare to Jen? I'm sorry, I hope you heal. Yeah, sad. Everyone judges, at least admit that. And don't act like you're better than others. That projection is a bad look. Exactly. Don't act like you're better than others. That projection is a bad look. Because it's like the moment you think you're better than others, bitch, for what? You know, like I can think I'm better than others because I built Mercury. Does that help me connect with people? No. So I don't like feeling like that. And I don't. I feel like everyone can build their own thing. It's just a matter of if you want to or not. If you want to build your own thing, then this is where you get into hermetic alchemy. This is where you get into just alchemy in general. This is where you get into manifestation, right? The whole spiritual community, everyone's ideas of manifesting. It's all alchemy and then magic. Like we're just talking about the basics of communicating your dreams through your genes into existence. LMAO lost. Now y'all talking about Jesus like you know him or wasn't just against him. Man, hilarious. Troll says more about you than it does him. Yeah. I mean, there's 99 new messages, so I am, right? It's going to take me some time. Also, Starseeds came back to give people like Paige the opportunity to change. That's right, Jay. That's right. And that's why I'm not blocking her. Even though she's sending me all these weird messages and stuff, all right, I'm just going to build a structure with what she's talking about, because this is what the world cares about. Okay, so she as an individual really cares about her ideas, and I'm not going to ignore that. Now, her ideas don't respect me, so, you know, that's pretty whack. But the point is, I can use this as an education for all of us. Someone in here is saying that they are Jesus. That's hilarious. You can't grow if you can't listen. So offensive. Literally, this person is in here listening to me, telling me you can't grow if you can't listen, still telling me I'm offensive after calling me a narcissist. I guess I should block someone like you, I suppose. I don't want to block people, but people are really getting ignorant on my lives. So like, it's just, there is a threshold, right? That's the whole point. There is a spectrum. There is a threshold of what makes sense versus what doesn't. Okay, if you're up here saying shit that like is really, really not making sense, and it's really not adding to the vibe that we're cultivating in this atmosphere, then all right, I might have to block you, I guess. But that's contextual. I haven't done it yet. Every knee will bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. Oh my God. And then like literally, I just like, I can like literally see the slave master just raping the indigenous woman with that statement. Every knee will bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. And then they spread their genocide. They spread their murder. They spread their J into indigenous lands and then lie about it. Right? It's literally that mentality. This is literally how they think, how they feel. Every knee will bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord, because they need to conquer you with their idea. I literally wouldn't even be able to say that if you didn't force me to learn this English language. So the fact that you don't care about all the evil that Christians have had to do to bring this English language to me as a Native American shows me how you have no empathy. You're only here to eat me. And this is what it looks like. I understand. Cannibalism is what this whole country was built on. Best believe. Like, white people were putting on blackface. Blackface is only a thing because they were eating black people. And they were eating black people to the point where they felt like they could be black. So white people created blackface and then created minstrel shows. And now you have all the minstrel shows. That's why you can literally look up the music industry and see that the whole history of the music industry is blackface. The whole history of the music industry is white people putting on this black oil skin tone and then making money depicting to the world what they want people to think black people are. Subconsciously, it's because they were practicing cannibalism and they were eating these people, and they felt like America says you are what you eat. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. You see, like, it's right there in their belief structure. So the only way they could possibly feel like they are black is because they are what they eat. This is what America is. So of course, all these people, like, that's that mentality right there. Every knee will bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. Like, that's exactly, I mean, that's so evil. And it has to sound loving, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying. It's so funny. I just got to give people the opportunity to talk so it can be like, and there we go. There we go. There we go. Comedy. Because literally, that's exactly what Paige believes. Like, that's basically what Paige is saying. Like, we could replace Coach Wallace with Paige, and that's basically what she's like messaging me and everything constantly. Every knee will bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord, and this is love. And then they don't care about the genocide of indigenous peoples, and I'm supposed to respect that. And they're here to keep projecting at me that I need to respect that. And I'm literally the spirit of Metatron that built their whole system. This shit is so trippy for me. This is so funny. It's like so many levels. It's whatever. It's really just, I'm doing this to create the opportunity and give you the opportunity to connect with me. So if I'm not up here doing this live and cultivating this atmosphere with my mind, it wouldn't be possible for you to see who I am as an individual. So this is like, we can see how TikTok is a microcosm of the universe. TikTok doesn't exist until we as individuals bring it to life, right? So TikTok is the universe, but you as the individual are God. You are the God that is connecting with other gods. So you and I are two gods connecting in the universe of TikTok right now. That simple. And we're using our minds to do it. So now that looks relatable, right? And now this is where if people are lost in their idea of God, they're going to be like, oh, you're not my imagination. This is my imagination. It's like, no, this is where we get empathy. Okay, so your idea of God is not my idea of God, but I know for a fact your idea of God is an expression of your individuality. So I got you. As Hermes, I got you. Like everything you're going to say from there, whatever, I got you. Like I know that your God is an expression of your individuality. That's why you can believe in 100 different religions and you're still going to be an individual by the end of that lifetime. And you learned about yourself from incorporating into each of those religions. Okay. So hilarious. Yeah, that's Paige. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord, because this is true love. Hilarious. I love when people go out of their way to help others, but I protect the right for one to believe what they like. Your beliefs will lead you to everlasting torment. Again, I didn't come here from everlasting torment. So you can't tell me that I'm going to go to everlasting torment when I literally came here from my own heaven. So that has nothing to do with me. You're obviously in everlasting torment to feel like you have the power to tell me that I'm suffering. What? Shit, you're sad. Wallace, pack it up, bud. For real. Hilarious. I'm happier than I've been, so I'm not sure. You have nothing to prove. Why fight people who don't agree? It's not about fighting people. It's about cutting up the shit that they bring me, right? So if someone comes up and their version of not agreeing is telling me that I need to sacrifice my life to their idea, for all of our education, I'm going to cut up that shit so we can see and breathe more clearly. Okay, it's that simple. And then that's where these people who are bringing me the shit, they learn from me. Like all these people are learning from me. All these demons who consume my energy and like hop up and like need to keep saying shit, but they're watching me and have been watching me. They're learning from me, and this is just their journey. So then I can just let us all learn from each other based on how I interact with them or whatever. All right. But the whole point is, it's only possible because they have their own soul and they have their own idea of God, and they can only connect on their own idea of God. So they need to express their narcissism by telling me that I have to worship them when I, as the spirit, the mind of Mercury, am actually Metatron, am actually Enoch, am actually Quetzalcoatl, am actually Hermes, I'm actually Tahuti, I'm actually Zoroaster, I'm actually Idris. I literally created these ideas that they're using to express themselves. So this is why I'm communicating way over most people's heads. I understand that. That's why I'm communicating to build a structure. I'm not communicating to relate with you. If you guys relate with the structure I'm building, that means you're on some spiritual shit. That has nothing to do with anyone else. You know, like, and now you can see how nature works. Gang, like now you can see how a tree grows. Do you see that? Who? Indigenous person here, West Coast. I still have my language and my dance. They failed. Beautiful. I'm happy to hear that, Darth Corvicus. Gang, I'm very happy to hear that. Truth. Just decades, Yuli Yuan, hilarious. Before there was gods and goddesses, there was what then? Spirits. There's always space. Everything comes out of space. Like the moment you imagine yourself as a space, that's an expression of your individuality. And then once you want to start relating that with other people, you're going to create a language that allows you to do that. And in general, there's so many steps with that because the first language of the universe is math. So this is why all languages are going to be like mathematic and shit. And then once you understand really how math moves, you can really just get a gauge of energy and elements. Like it's really about understanding elements, math, and your vibration at that point. Your soul, your mind, your ego. But knowing your internal elements. They didn't create trees. Comprehension is key. Wind, shakers, fire from the sky, etc. existed before your book. That's right. That's right. That's right. You assume, not assume, because of ego comprehensions. Prove me wrong. You've been misled by the same people that enslaved us. Even the Bible states you can only find God in yourself, in your heart, i.e. you are God. There we go. There you go. See, it's just like the Bible is weaponized truth. Like people read it, but they get lost in reading it as like a literal, actual history book. And they're not actually seeing the energy of what the Bible is describing. That's why, again, the Bible is just stolen Hermeticism, stolen Zoroastrianism. Oh, y'all are arguing in here? That's okay. Man, I can't be a race going somewhere. Hilarious. That's fine. Do you plan on contributing? Y'all are fighting for no reason. For a delusional little man. Hilarious, hilarious. Bro, you're giving her enough energy. She's trying to disrupt the creation of energy here. It's okay. Paige has her time, Jay. It's all right. Like, we're all here together. Like, we're all individuals connecting. Like, that's just big education for everyone, all right? We can see how Paige moves, and we can learn about ourselves. We can learn, like, do we want to be like Paige, or do we want to be like ourselves? You know, like, who do you want to be like? Yourself, or do you want to be like Paige? Paige is telling us that we need to be like Paige. I'm telling you, you should be like yourself. You know, so, whatever. LMAO, one thinks they're God and one says you should worship God. No, I'm talking about that. I have ears though, thanks. That makes sense. I can be the light and show you the way, or the mirror, show you your true nature. Hilarious. You seem angry, you are different. Yeah, you seem to be projecting. Hilarious. My true nature. What I said, them arguing law. This man thinks he's God, then Paige says God. The whole point is you are God. People are so weird. Like, why do you keep self-deflecting and shit? I have to be God to be the creator of my own life. You have to be God to be the creator of your own life. It's way bigger than this life. Like, people are just limited by this life and this construct. Like, your ideas of God are colonized by this language. It's literally just about you having your own imagination. My imagination is bigger than any religion. So that has nothing to do with any religion. And the fact that I have used my imagination to build reality up